So it works. All you've got to do is put AI in the title of your YouTube video and you get visitors and you get watchers and subscribers. And it brought you along too. No, I'm not saying that it's just because I put AI in the title that it's why you're here, but it seems to work. And it worked for Microsoft too. And here's the CNBC headlines: Microsoft stock pops. And pops is probably the right word after it announced a $30 per month AI subscription for Microsoft 365. So the news is Microsoft on Tuesday, yesterday, announced a new artificial intelligence subscription service for Microsoft 365. Adding on the generative AI subscription should reportedly cost enterprise users an additional 50% or more per month. So a big increase if you want the AI add-on onto your 365 subscriptions. The updates come as the race to offer consumer-driven, generative, it's a very difficult word, generative AI tools heats up amongst tech giants such as Microsoft, Google, IBM, and more. So you can use 365 with this AI add-on. It's going to cost you 50% more than your current subscription. And on the basis of that, Microsoft stock popped. Let's have a look at the charts. So here on the charts, I've got the NASDAQ, S&P, AMD, NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft. We could put Tesla on there as well, but let's just focus on these. First of all, I want to show you Microsoft and how this rallied yesterday on Tuesday. You can see we had this massive move higher. I'm going to show you a chart which I've put on Twitter to show you how this rally compares to previous moves on Microsoft. But this was about a 7.3% rally up, bit of a spike high up to a key resistance level. We dropped back down again, and you can see right now in pre-market, we're actually approaching those highs again. Let's have a look at that Twitter post I put up. So here's the post on Twitter, which I put up yesterday after that big rally. And let's just zoom in and have a look. So Microsoft, today's record range. This is the biggest move we've ever seen on Microsoft in a single day, 7.2%. Equates to $24.60. The current valuation of Microsoft has only been neared 3 times before. So we've never had a 7.2% move on Microsoft before, but we've come close on 3 occasions. And these occasions all took place at market bottoms. Let's zoom into this chart a wee bit more. And these are the occasions. At the bottom here, I've got the average daily range, which I've set to 1 period. So it's basically the full day's range. And that red line there is $24.60. You can see we've never moved more than $24.60 on Microsoft before. But in percentage terms, we've come close. And that was in February 2022. March 2020 and December 2018. You can see all of those massive moves took place at market bottoms. This move has taken place at a market top. We reached a new all-time high on Microsoft with that big move up, 7.2%. And the reason I point this out is simply because these massive moves have always been blowout moves before. But these were blowout bottoms on each occasion that we've seen this before. And in fact, we've never seen a move as big as this in terms of either the absolute dollar value, $24.60 yesterday, or in percentage terms, 7.2%. Biggest single day move on Microsoft. And all on the news that users or consumers are going to have to pay 50% more on their Microsoft 365 subscriptions than they were before this AI generative tool got added on. I think it's an opt-in. I don't think it's mandatory to pay that. But for those who are wanting to use the AI tool, it's going to be an extra 50%. Right, back to the charts. How has this affected the overall market? We're going to be looking at various things here. First of all, NASDAQ and S&P. Understandably, they both moved up. Now, we're short on S&P. I'm short on NASDAQ too. And the interesting thing on both of these charts is that we've moved through the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level, and we've moved up into the area now where we're approaching the all-time highs. You can see on NASDAQ, we're getting closer and closer to those all-time highs. We've broken through this resistance zone and the 78.6% Fibonacci level and that previous high over here on the left-hand side. The same thing with the S&P 500, but a similar chart here. There's the 78.6% broken through there. That was previous resistance over there on the left-hand side. We've broken up through there. We've broken up through this rising channel top, and we're surging higher. And look how far away we are from these moving averages. We're miles away from the 20 period, the 50 period, the 100 period, and the 200 period is basically off the screen. Same thing with NASDAQ. We're the 200 period moving averages on the NASDAQ, all the way down at 12,660. We're now at 15,900, give or take, and approaching that all-time high. The 20 period is way below us, the 50, the 100, all miles and miles below us. We're just seeing this massive rally across the board on stock indices and on individual stock names, particularly the Magnificent Seven, whose market cap now makes up something around about 50% on the NASDAQ, and I think slightly less than that on the S&P, but just a huge portion. And the Magnificent Seven seems to be unstoppable. The only sign that we may be, possibly, potentially reaching a market top is this blowout that we saw on Microsoft that I talked about earlier in the video. We're not seeing Nvidia, Apple, AMD, or Tesla moving up at the same rate, and I think this whole move was dragged up by this Microsoft announcement that users, consumers, can have to pay 50% more, $30 a month more, to get the generative AI tools to assist them in using their Office 365. Now, I don't know about you, but to pay 50% more to get some AI tools that you could possibly get through other tools like ChatGPT and the already built-in AI tools that are built into the Microsoft software and suites and various other things. I'm not too sure if that one's going to fly for too long. I don't know. Maybe it's a major market coup. Maybe it's something magnificent that we haven't thought about. Maybe it's going to automate offices beyond belief. Companies are going to be able to get rid of staff and robots are going to take over. And this is just the next thing in the world, moving away from typing pools and data analysts and offices full of cubicles to robot-driven offices that don't need food or water or sunlight or anything like that, and also don't need to be paid once they've been purchased. Overall, I think if you look at the economic conditions, many of the indicators coming out, and this euphoria, blowout, Magnificent Seven rally, it's got to come to an end, or at least a correction. And I think we're going to see a 5 to 10 to 15% pullback in the very, very near term. And I think the Microsoft blowout rally top, which is not yet confirmed, it could carry on going much higher, but I think this signals or portends or perhaps sheds some light on the fact that we may be nearing at least a short-term top in the markets. Certainly when you look at this chart on Microsoft, and notice that this sort of move that we've had, and this is the most extreme of them all, has always taken place at major market reversal points. Well, I hope you found that useful. Good luck with your trading. It's not easy at the moment. And I know there are an awful lot of people who are short the market, huge funds and banks who are short the market at the moment, are having to cover and hedge by puts and calls and make all sorts of adjustments to their positions. But the fact is the market's enormously short. That's part of the reason why the market keeps on going up. At some stage, this house of cards perhaps has to come falling down. The question is, when will that happen? And do we have to go a little bit higher still? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. If you've enjoyed this content and found it useful, please consider subscribing to the channel. And why not give the video a thumbs up whilst you're here. Take care.